Hey AfterBuzzers, thank you so much for tuning in to this week's edition of the Orphan Black After Show here at AFTERBUZZ TV. Tonight we are going to be discussing Season 4, Episode 9, The Mitigation of Competition, and we have a very special guest in the studio that you guys will be very excited about, so please stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Oh, hello, Clone Clubbers. Welcome to the AfterBuzzz TV After Show for Orphan Black. I am your host, Sam Davidson. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And you can find me, Sam, at SamD43, Twitter and Instagram. Before we announce our special guest, I have these two beautiful ladies. Introduce yourselves, let us know where we can find you on the Twitter.
Hey guys, I'm Kelly McInerney. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at HollyWeirdo.
Hey guys, I'm Joelle Monique. You can find me everywhere at Joelle Monique.
And of course, guys, we have Kristian Bruun right here.
I'm here.
With excitement.
So crazy.
Where
Hey,
can
everybody.
we find you on social media, Kristian?
At the Bruun, TheBruun, and on Instagram as Bonnie Castle, or just look up my name. You'll find it under Kristian Bruun.
You literally have like your own fan club, which is amazing.
It's very bizarre, yeah.
It must feel good, and we've been looking forward to this day for a very long
So
time.
long.
Yeah, you guys, I was like, I can't believe I did it. We got him. We got him. So, guys, he is here to talk with us about this amazing episode once before the finale. So let's get into it.
Yeah.
We have Rachel, who is becoming a bigger part of the show. I mean, she's always been a big part since she's been introduced, but now she is kind of on our side. What are we feeling about this? Do we still trust her? No trust her?
Dude, we will never trust Rachel. I will never trust Rachel. I'll speak for myself. I'll never trust Rachel.
I'm kind of... Go ahead, you go.
I think she's scheming. I think, it was great to see the demise of Evie and the well-calculated, it was just wonderful. You're like, oh, there's some good in you, but I also know that at the end of the day, this is for her. This sets her up in a beautiful position just to take over, and I don't trust it.
I don't know, I'm kind of like, wow, all right, maybe you are nice. I don't really know. I don't know if I should trust her, but I'm proud that she was on the
right
on
side.
the right side
It was
this
nice
time.
to see her with the sisters.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So, what does Kristian think, and what would Donnie think?
Kristian loves Rachel. That's my favorite clone, I think.
Really?
And she has been since she's shown up because she's the most fast. I love Helena so much, and I love working with Helena as well. But Rachel fascinates me so much because she hides everything so well, and you just can't tell whose side she's on. And she's certainly in it for herself, but sometimes she does things that support the sisterhood, and sometimes she's all about herself. Sometimes she's all about Neolution. Sometimes she's all about James Frain's character.
Susan
Frederick?
Oh, Frederick.
Yeah, Ferdinand.
Ferdinand,
That's
sorry.
it, Ferdinand.
Ferdinand.
Frederick's my brother. Come on, don't talk about my brother. Ferdinand. And sometimes she's all about, supporting her mother, Susan. So it's just she's all over the map, and you have no idea what the hell she's thinking and what she's going to do. And, yeah, I find that the most compelling to watch.
I think it would be a really fun scene to see Donnie and Rachel together.
It's happened.
Oh, it happened last. Was it last?
It was
season?
at the end of season 2. It was the finale. I got cut out completely out of the finale, which happens. It happened almost again, I think, this year, but they kept some of the stuff in. But yeah, the last episode of the second season had a scene with Donnie going to Rachel with all his monitor receipts and being like, yeah, I just want to drop off my receipts, and you're going to leave me alone and my family alone, and tries to lay down the law and get some money back from being a monitor. And she swiftly puts him in his place. It was so much fun. And it doesn't officially count in the whole storyline of Orphan Black because it didn't make it into the episode, but it's out there on the interwebs. You can find that deleted scene from season 2 somewhere. And there was another scene with Alison where I was like, don't worry, I'm going to go take care of Rachel, blah, 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 trying to be all manly because we had just rekindled our love again. And they both got cut, but they were sort of a fun little snippet that we had lined up. But they don't count, so it's never officially happened. But they're out there to watch, so go watch them, people.
I will. I love that. And After the Black, the BBC America after show, they'll do some deleted scenes now.
Right, yeah.
But during their after show, which is so much fun. And I loved it. And I DVR Orphan Black, so when I go through the commercials, they had a scene this week with Helena. That I don't know
Which one is it? I think I know which one it is.
It is when Helena is going through the woods or whatever in the snow, and then this family comes
It's the best. I love
with
it.
their daughter, and she starts screaming and crying because Helena has an animal on top of her head.
Yeah, she shot a deer with a bow and arrow, and this kid in the car is like, "Mommy, I see a deer in the woods. I see a deer." And they slow down the car, and they're like, "Oh, what is it? What's in the woods?" And it's Helena with the dead, bloody deer on her back. And they're like, "Oh my god!" They're screaming as she comes out covered in pelts and furs with a deer on her back. It's hilarious.
It's amazing. Back to Rachel, though. What are we thinking? Because actually, some people had a big question for you was, what are you feeling about caster clones and all that? And Ira is really the only one that we see this season. And he's become a Felix, in a way, to Rachel, which some people have said.
Almost like a right hand brother to Rachel, in a sense.
Yeah, a brother that's
also
in
kind
love
of an
and
uncle in
having
a weird
sex
way.
with
That's
mom.
so
Brother
weird.
uncle, just a brother uncle.
I'm really
Normal thing.
concerned that their relationship will turn romantic and then they'll be having sex with themselves.
Come on.
Is it masturbation? I don't know. It's very, I don't want it either. I think it's gross, but I'm afraid it's headed that way.
That's when we jump the shark and run out of ideas. We start having clones.
It's season 9. It's clones of clones of clones of clones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrible.
But they, he is looking out for Rachel at this point. I feel like a little bit more so than he is for Susan.
He feels a little betrayed by Susan, I think.
Totally.
Because Susan is all about the science and willing to make deals with the Lita clones and cut Castor out if that's what Lita wants, and to get whatever material she can get her hands on. So I think Susan showed her true colors. I think that was last episode 8 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little betrayal going on in that weird
family.
son.
It's like,
That great pool scene, you mean? What?
Oh god.
oh god, you guys! I remember watching that scene and I was like, "No, Sam." I was like, "It's late. You're not thinking right.
They're
Don't."
just going for a swim.
Don't go there,
It's
Sam.
casual.
You're gross. You're gross for thinking that, Sam.
And they got closer and closer.
And it was the scene in Cruel Intentions when they were in the pool and they started hooking up. And I was like, oh no.
I don't want this.
Cruel Intentions throwback.
Yeah.
From Orphan Black.
Freaking love that movie.
It's a great film.
So, Ira is in this with Rachel now, though. It is a thing. And they team up with Felix and Sarah. So it's kind of,
An odd combination of
Yeah,
people.
nobody saw that coming.
And I love when Rachel talks about Sarah, and he's like, you don't really like her much, do you? And she's like, well, she stuck a pencil in my brain.
Yeah.
So,
It's true. I mean, I would hate somebody that did that to me.
There's certainly no love lost between those two. And Sarah's been so elusive to Dyad, Neolution, whoever, for so many years. She's just somehow been able to fly under the radar. And then once she became aware of who she was, still managed to escape them, and despite all their best efforts. So, Rachel's used to getting what she wants, and she can't get Sarah. So I think that drives her crazy too. And of course, the pencil in the eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That must hurt. I mean,
I love that so
literally
much.
and physically.
Yeah.
it was a great scene, and I think the two of them are more connected, really, than we know. Just their personality types, because they're both the leaders of their own.
They're both alphas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Alpha clones.
Alpha clones.
Absolutely.
And alphas don't get along.
Really don't. But we have some more Evie in this episode. We love Jessalyn Wanlund. She's been
so
here.
good.
She's
Yeah.
so good. And she's so good at what she does in this show, because if you guys watched our after show, you saw that she was the sweetest, nicest person.
She's so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she is amazing at playing this terrible villain that seems to have no qualms for anyone or anything.
Even the little babies.
Yeah.
Oh.
Euthanizing.
That was bad, guys.
That baby. That poor baby.
How did you guys feel about that being shown on TV? Because I don't even know if anything like that has ever really been shown
I think it's
on
important to
television.
show stuff like that. I think one of the best parts of the show is it kind of deals with ownership of your own body and ownership of other people's bodies and science and technology and genetics and what is right. It's that whole Jurassic Park conundrum. It's, wow, what does Dr. Malcolm say? He said, you were so busy...
Kelly would know this.
You were so busy concerned with if you could, you didn't bother thinking if you should.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's kind of what the show's about as well. And you've got these people who are obsessed with the science of creating. And then, people being like, hold up, these are other people's bodies that you're messing with, even though you created that body. It doesn't make it yours. So it's got a lot of ethical implications to it. And I think it's important to show things like that baby being born. I think fertility and infertility has been something that's really cropped up this season more than others. And that's something that is so important to people these days and is still getting still finding itself in the science. And there's not a lot of TV shows, I think, talking about what it's like to be infertile and try and have a child of your own and the ownership around that and what you owe for having a baby through other than just regular old sexual means. So, through science. And I think it's cool to see the show deal with those topics.
Yeah, I mean, I do too. What do you guys think? Because it's very sensitive to a lot of people, and this is an amplified version of that.
Totally.
It's this a villain / superhero, but at the same time, I think this is happening, but in a way, for some people in their minds, it's a very hard thing, and they must feel like they owe something to somebody when they, and there's probably complications sometimes when you get in vitro or whatnot. So I think it's an interesting way that they're kind of tackling.
It also just makes her more evil, because especially after seeing how nice she was, this is great to be like, oh no, she's bad, you know?
Evil Cho.
And it
Evil Cho.
Yeah.
Is that what's going around on Twitter? People calling her Evil Cho.
Yep.
It's great.
Evil Cho, absolutely. And that video, so that she gets sent the video, and it's it's from what is it? Not Kendall. Tabitha. Or no, Kendra. There's Kendra and I think it was from Kendra.
Yeah.
And they said, just leave us alone or else this will go viral. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
It'll go out to all the news outlets. And she doesn't seem super unhinged. Her partner...
Kendra or...
No, Evie.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she has to keep it
keeps
together.
Her calm
yeah.
very well.
Evie's got a plan. She's like, oh, that's fine. Just kill them. They're predictable. They're humans. We can probably find where they're going. She's got police at her disposal. I don't think she feels she has any... clearly she has no problem just killing things that are in her way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She doesn't.
She's blinded by her own power.
Yeah.
Her ruthless ambition.
Yeah.
But with that being said, there is Helena, like we talked about, who will kill whomever, whatever, gets in her way.
Mm-hmm.
But
Helena will defend
she has
herself to the death. I feel like we haven't really seen Helena go after anybody viciously since maybe season 1. Everything since then has been...
The Portuguese Mafia?
Yeah.
Again, not her fault. She didn't stalk them.
But
and
she went after them pretty ruthlessly.
Yes, don't
But
piss
again,
her off.
because she went after her sister, don't touch her sisters.
Yeah.
Don't touch her sisters, and you will
Or
be
her
fine.
babies. It was her frozen babies in that case, I
Yes.
think.
Yes.
Babies. My babies.
Babies.
When I get pregnant one day, I'm going to be like, my babies. I'm gonna go around with Helena. I'm going to stop washing my hair, bleach it blonde, and just
I
be
love
like,
it.
my
This is
babies.
a good idea.
What did you guys feel like about this interaction between Felix and Adele and Helena?
That was so heartbreaking. I for Felix to have to go full circle like this, to being, I don't feel like I'm a part of this family, to finding a sister, to trying to make a family work with her, to realizing he had his family there the whole time, which is usually such a great romantic kind of moment in cinema or television when you're like, the family I wanted was there the whole time, but for him it's like,
It's
There's-
a requirement almost.
yeah, there's so much drama. I can't bring anyone else into this, and I have to shoulder a lot of this burden by myself because I'm not one of the sisters.
Yeah.
I think that's just really...
This is one of my favorite
heartbreaking.
storylines of the season is Felix and his sister, and I think there's been so many good moments throughout the season of Felix finally standing up for himself and what he needs for once, because he's always at the beck and call of Sarah and the clones, and he's always loyal to them. But him and Sarah have that argument outside his apartment, in the hallway, and like they're both like, well, piss off then. Yeah, you piss off. And like, I'm done. You know, like I've got my own stuff to deal with. You can't just and like Sarah. Sarah drives me crazy. She just like takes advantage of him all the time. So it's been crazy to see him stand up for himself, but then kind of sad in the end to watch him have to, you know, go back and be like, okay, these are where my loyalties lie right now.
Yeah.
It's sad.
It's frustrating too for Adele, who's just like she just found her brother and she trusts him, but then it's like, wait, you're still hiding stuff, like.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, I guess I'm assuming the father not a very trustworthy guy, so she was probably hoping he'd be different, and he's hiding all this like bunch of sisters.
Yeah. Like daddy issues all over again. Damn it.
Yeah.
It is sad, but so are we now? Because okay. Kristian, at least I was on the side that Adele was a bit fishy. I didn't know if I trusted her. But this episode, I felt as though I saw that she was legitimately confused out of her freaking mind.
I think so. Despite, you know, whether she's drunk or stoned or sober, I think she's legitimately confused by what the hell's going on and not being told the truth. And I think she's such a fun character in the show. She's been such a good addition this year. We've had really good additions this year. Oh,
Heck yeah.
Yeah, it's been the casting department has really hit it out of the park this year. But she's great, and she's legitimately pissed off and has a right to be as well.
Yeah.
Has this season for you been a favorite? Because for me, this is like the first season and the fourth season have been my favorites. I've loved every season, but I really love this season. Do you feel as though this was different, or felt as though it was a throwback to season one?
For me, it felt like a throwback to season one, and I think that's kind of what they were gunning for the whole time. They did such an awesome job in the first two episodes with all the flashbacks. We get to see Paul and people that, you know, are no longer with us. So it was such a cool idea to just start playing with what Beth's story was, which we see her throughout the season showing up, whether in ghostly form, you know, haunting Sarah, or, you know, in flashbacks, and with MK, this like quirky new Finnish clone, and there is that feel of freshness to it as well. Every season has almost a different genre to it, like the first, or just a different feel. The first season was like, what the F is going on? What the hell? And at the end of it, you're like, oh, this is what it is. The second season is trying to deal with the repercussions of finally knowing what's going on and then being thrown for a loop. And then the third season is like an action show where it's like, we've got these bad boy male clones that we need to combat. And then this season has been kind of jumping back to the beginning and giving us answers from the past.
Let's talk about some Donnie and Alison this episode. You know, Dallison. Whoa, I just came up with that.
Wow. Wow.
Mind blown. You're welcome. So he gets out of prison, a bit frisky.
He had two very long days in prison. Yeah, Papa needs his conjugal.
I don't think he would have made it. You know?
I don't think he would have made a week in there. No.
One of our like loyal followers, who's B69B, says Donnie and Alison feel like my parents. So when they do sexual stuff, I feel like I'm being traumatized. Which little.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Try not to think of it. Oh, it's like saying don't think of a pink elephant. You're thinking about it, aren't you? Sorry.
I don't mind those scenes. I think they're hilarious.
So great.
Honestly. Yeah. And because Alison is so controlled and Donnie is just like, whoo, you know, like fly by the seat of his pants and let's go for the ride.
Yep.
And when they reunite and they decide, let's do something special, we need to like get the F out of here. Alison, instead of going out of the country because Donnie cannot, suggest, you know, going to the water park. Yeah. The indoor water park, I think it was, right? Yeah. Which I think Kelly actually did with her boyfriend a couple weekends ago.
Not indoors, outdoor. Raging waters.
Oh, it was outdoor.
Yeah.
Nice.
Got season passes.
Was it like a weekend thing or just a day trip?
No, it's like an hour away from here.
Okay.
So that's like, instead of the beach, we'll go there now.
How wonderful was that?
I love it.
Really fun.
Yeah. You didn't get foot and mouth disease like Oscar did in the show? I think Donnie mentions that at one point.
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
Well, when they decide to go there, Donnie goes downstairs to get his flip-flops,
Gotta have your flippies. Yeah.
And then he gets attacked by
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, what I call it's like that Neo guy.
Yeah.
The blonde Neo
eye.
guy.
Yeah.
He's pretty.
Or the eye.
It's not the eye. I wish. Yeah, the eye guy's still in prison. I hope.
He looked just like
stayed
him,
there.
though, kind
He's
of,
the guy from the. He's one of the cheek choppers from the beginning of the season. He's like
yeah.
one of the paramedic guys.
Because
That's
Sarah
the
asked
partner.
the other girl,
Yeah.
where's your
Yeah.
partner at? He was getting Donnie.
Yeah. And they poor Donnie. It feels
got
like
Helena.
he is in the clear. Time to
Yeah,
relax.
he's like he just had a big old sex. He was all relaxed, ready to go on vacation. He was feeling pretty good, and nope, got hogtied
Yeah,
and
he
almost killed.
hogtied, and that's what Helena basically said. She was like, "What did she say?"
Looked like
He
a
looked like
pig.
a roast pig.
Donnie looked like a
Something
roast
that.
pig. And yeah, they get all tied up and about to probably get killed, and Alison is about to get the bot put in her.
Yeah.
Which, can we pause for just a moment and say, Alison is like the bravest person I know. Like, she did not flinch. There was not 2 seconds of her being like, well, maybe. She was like, I'm just going to pray. Like, I have nothing to give you,
Yeah,
so
she
I'm
just
just
gave
going to
into
let
it.
this happen. And it was, I love seeing her that strong and just, like, unflinching. And it's so, because she worked so hard to create and, like, have this family. And so to see her really work for it is always, like, really heartwarming and touching to me. And I was really rooting for her in that moment. And then Helena burst through the door, and I was like, this is everything I wanted. This is so perfect.
She's been really, like, tempted this season, too. Like, last
Yeah.
episode, too, people were like, tell us, and she's still not like you said, flinching.
Well, she was about to for Donnie's sake, but when she found out Donnie was okay, the rest of the Sistras figured it out. She was relieved, but yeah, she was not going to give it up, and she said goodbye to you, and it was super sad. And then when Helena came in with the bow and
I
arrow,
called it, by the way. I wanted to be like, Helena's gonna come. We saw her. She's gonna come because she asked about the Hendrixes.
Yeah, okay.
Did it.
So I think that Helena and Kira both have some, and someone said, like, be more stupid, stop talking about powers in the comments once. But I won't stop. I think that they both have at least some kind of, telepathic something, like they can tell when something is up. And I think that Helena has a very special connection to Kira. And when she spoke on the phone with Sarah earlier in the episode, and she said, how are the Hendricks? And she said, are they not okay? Are they in trouble? And Sarah basically said, no, not really. They're fine. She knew to come back.
I think that, for me anyway, that read as, I know you, Sarah.
Yeah.
Like, she was not letting Sarah get away with anything in that entire conversation. She was really drilling her, and I felt in that moment, she was like, let me go run and check on these fools, because y'all can't take care of each other. You guys are all hot messes. I do agree with you that Kendra clearly has some kind of...
Kira,
I'm sorry, you're right. Kira has some crazy
So
kind of
many names
power.
on this show.
Lots of Ks.
Yeah, too many K's, guys. Come on.
What's happening? But I don't know about the what do you call it? Like the original clones.
yeah. I agree. I don't think Helena... I think she's connected to Kira because she has a kind of childlike demeanor about her. I mean, if children killed people. But, like,
Yeah, the killing aside.
same type of vibe.
Yeah, let's just hope that doesn't happen to Kira. I am praying.
Well, we saw her in the first season get hit by a car and get hit bad by a car, and then like walked away from it. Like was in the hospital, and they're like, we don't know how, but she's okay. Like there's something up there for sure, and I think we need answers.
Well,
Come on, people.
yeah, people.
I'm talking to Graeme and John, the showrunners. If you're watching, give us
Which
some
you should
answers.
Yeah, and there was a moment actually that when Kira, it was when when Donnie and Helena a few episodes ago, they were being questioned by the police, and Helena had to pretend to be Alison. And Helena like knew some stuff. Helena, maybe it's this like spidey sense instinct because she's basically an animal and has like lived in like wilderness, so she feels like an animal and like.
There's
feels
a
these
really
things.
cool moment in that scene too, where they do the old Clonaroo split screen thing, and you see Alison come out of the kitchen quietly and just kind of stand against a wall and listen to the conversation that's going on between Donnie and Helena and the cops. And it gets to that moment where they like chew Donnie out for answering questions for Helena's like, you gotta let your wife answer. And they ask her all these campaign questions, and like there's this long bit of silence. And in that 2-shot, you see Alison stand there, and all of a sudden she just closes her eyes and then Helena has all this information. It's so weird. And I don't know what the hell's going on there.
In the same
You're
way.
just adding fuel to this power fire.
Everyone called me crazy, and I was like, no, I saw that scene, and they looked at each other, and that information was exchanged between their brains.
But I don't know if that's on purpose. Like, I'm legitimately saying that. Like, I was in the damn scene. I was filming it. I know all the creators. Like, you know, like, I'm in it. I don't know if that's on purpose or not, or if that's just Alison just being like, come on, like praying or something like that. But it was so cool, and I think someone pointed it out to me, and then I texted Tatiana, and I was like, is this a thing? What's going on? And so, like, you know, I want to know, like, what that's all about, and if it is something. Mm-hmm. Still don't have an answer.
Well, because
she doesn't respond to my texts. She does.
I'm sure she's amazing. Oh God, I can only imagine. Sometimes I have dreams that I'm like best friends with her, and yeah, but it's just like sometimes it's different ones. I don't know. Anyways, getting back to the show.
Wait, different clones or different types of dreams?
No, it's different clones, but then sometimes just like Tatiana being like, "Girl, get it together. I'm a real person," and I'm like,
that's how she talks.
well, I know.
That's not.
Because I'm like,
We're best friends.
And okay, Helena saves them.
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask you a question about when Helena and Donnie have had to pretend a lot, and I thought Helena was secretly falling in love with you, and I was really worried that there was going to be some transference between Alison and Helena.
Whoa. Yeah. there was a lot. I think what Donnie offered Helena was, or represented to Helena was stability, a good man who wasn't like taking advantage of her, a family man, a safe home, a stocked fridge, you know, like a normal life, which is all Helena, I think, has ever really wanted. I don't think she wants to be a crazy, you know, killer. I don't think she wants to be an assassin. She's had like the worst upbringing, terrible life so far, and she's found a family for the first time in her life beyond people taking advantage of her. And so she, you know, she sees that in Alison and Donnie is like the most unassuming. He's just a normal guy. He's just a very normal person. He's a suburban dad, and I think she gloms onto that. But I think she still just has a heart for Jessie Towing. I mean, Jessie Towing is everything to her.
Julia Nunes literally just wrote in like, where is Jessie?
Yeah,
where's
Jessie?
You guys, we're all reading each other's minds right now. It's the clone club that is.
It's really happening in real life.
Yeah.
And that also means that that's what's happening on the show, and I'm gonna be right. So, boom shakalaka.
I know everything. I'm not going to say anything.
I know.
I've seen it all. I've seen the last episode, guys. It's so good.
I could tell behind your eyes
excited.
so many secrets.
I'm trying to like keep them organized in my brain. If you ever watch any of the cast members in an interview, like this one right now on AFTERBUZZ TV, if you ever watch them in an interview, you can see the hamster in their brain like pedaling through, trying to power the Rolodex of information, because so much happens in every episode. And especially, it's most dangerous when we're being interviewed before we've even aired. No, it's in the middle of the season that's dangerous, because we don't know what was last episode, what's the next one. We get advanced copies because we do interviews in advance and things like that, so we like to watch in advance so that we know what we're talking about for, you know, like I did an interview for episode 10 for the finale a couple weeks ago, so I watched a rough cut of that, and then, of course, like 8 still had to come out, and 9, and I'm just like, oh, wait, so this interview's for which episode, and what has happened here, and what do I have to make sure it doesn't come out? Okay, good. Because there's so much that happens every episode. I don't want to spoil it.
We appreciate
you
So
can.
much happens in the finale.
Don't spoil it. No.
Okay, here it goes. I'm gonna just and I'll be fired. I would be instantly fired from the show.
Just kidding. But like, what if it was that you died and you were just like, I'm just gonna throw this shit out the window?
Whoa.
No, you're never
Donnie
gonna
gets
die.
offed.
No, Danny, what the hell? Donnie would never go, because, and him and Felix, I just think, are the two rocks for outside of the clones that we need. And if we
Art
lose
is
them,
pretty
I-
much a rock too, for sure.
You're absolutely right. When I said that to Kevin,
And Scotty.
yeah.
Scotty's there loyally doing all the science.
Oh,
Sam
well,
has theories about Scotty that I don't
She
think we can
doesn't
talk
trust
about
him.
right now.
You don't trust Scotty?
Thank
No.
you. Look at this coming from Donnie. Scotty is the best.
guys, I still don't trust Scotty. I think
Hurts
that
every
I think we
time.
need to have Josh on the show.
I know.
We should get Josh on the show.
We're about it.
That would be freaking amazing. Speaking of really smart people, though.
Yes, guys, we have a great sponsor today, Chapman University.
Yeah.
So amazing. Get your education up.
Do it.
They're located in Orange County, California, 16 miles from the beach, a little over 30 miles from Los Angeles, minutes from Disneyland. I went for the first time a month ago. It was amazing.
Still wearing the pin.
I'm never taking it off.
Never taking it off.
They've got tree-lined, 75-acre campus in the heart of historic city of Orange. Only 8,000 students are enrolled in the undergraduate and graduate programs, so you're going to get small classes and the attention that you deserve. They're best known for their programs in film and television. A lot of people here who have been to Chapman. Business, science and technology, education, health services, and the arts. 10 different schools and colleges, and more than 100 different majors and programs. There's literally something for everyone. In terms of free time, there's lots to do on campus and off. There are close to 200 clubs and student organizations right there on campus. Chapman University is a comprehensive university that still provides personalized attention for its students. Classes are small. Student-to-faculty ratio is 14-1. Best part, 86% of students benefit from some sort of financial aid, so you may not have to pay for all of this yourself, which is a big bonus. No one wants to shell out all that money. For some people, it's next to impossible, so you can check out Chapman and get some help. For more information, check out www.chapman.edu/information. Once again, www.chapman.edu/information.
This place sounds good.
Yeah.
I want to go
Amazing.
there.
Sounds like a legit place.
We're going to take care of you.
Yay,
I would-
smart people.
Highly suggest. You want to get an education, which you should.
You should. Mm-hmm. I have a degree.
Somebody
good to be
just
educated.
Put it to use.
graduated from college today.
Hey,
in the
congrats.
group.
Big
Audra
time
Walton.
college grad.
Right on, lady.
Yeah.
Why didn't you go to Chapman?
Go back to school and
Try
do it
again.
right.
Get that
at
graduate
Chapman.
degree, you know?
Yeah.
All the things.
Another thing I thought that was really fun about this episode was that Sarah is like trying to be Beth again, but Art's like, dude, you're not Beth anymore. Can you just stop right now?
Yeah, he's over the like, okay, fool me once, fool me twice. Yeah, like he's done with it. It hurts for him too, right? Like
Yeah, it hurts his heart.
It hurts his heart because as we saw, they were real partners more than just
Checker.
partners. Yeah,
That
exactly.
kind of partner.
Yeah, that type of partner. So it's a bit much for sure.
I'm glad he threw those rose-colored glasses off, though, because I feel like Art can now be an essential member. Where he's like, I now know everything, and I'm
Yeah.
no longer
And now you
disillusioned
guys
with
know
anyone.
everything too.
Yeah, and I'm here to take names, and
Yeah.
to see him and Sarah working together like cop partners was kind of cool, actually. And I'm hoping we get a little
And take
more of
out
that.
Duco.
So
Yeah.
good.
Oh,
I just kind of had an epiphany. I feel as though Art is trying to, like, Beth is dead and she can't be who she is. And while Sarah is kind of being Beth right now, there still needs to be someone on the police force that is on their team. So it's as though Art is kind of taken Beth's place and has taken her responsibilities to
Which
help
is-
these people.
yeah.
Which is a much more sustainable model than before, because Beth cannot be leader of the Sestras and a good cop at the same time. It's
Nope.
literally what killed her, drove her to insanity.
Yep.
So to have them divvy up that power and both bear the brunt of a lot of the struggle, it's nice.
Absolutely. And, we see a lot of Sarah, obviously, this episode, like we always do. There's the stuff with the Brightborn girls, and we get to see it was Kendra who had the boy born from her that was blind, and that was really sad and fascinating. And then, we get Rachel again, who tries to jump in. She's trying to work with Sarah. But,
Thirsty to work.
and it's not as though she didn't try. I will say that. Just saying. I'm a bit naive when it comes to people. If they tell me, like, I'm good, I'm like, okay. I know. I'm
I don't
trying.
trust Rachel at all. She's going to be the downfall of everyone.
Oh, I hope. But what if she's not?
I know all the answers. I know everything.
Well, it was at least interesting to see them try to work together because I feel
Yeah.
as though it might be a thing in the future that they're going to have to do.
They are forever linked. Even if Rachel burned the whole building down tomorrow, I think in 3 episodes they still have to come back together and try to work together because they're in it.
But
like,
at the same time,
clones are
if she
together.
could burn Sarah and all of her sisters down, she would. Like they did that with Helsinki. They
Yeah.
keep talking about the Helsinki Protocol, and this there was a comic book series called Orphan Black Helsinki. That
So
was like
good.
5 issues. It was so good. And Helly Kennedy wrote the episode or the issues, and they're so good. And it was a really cool backstory into like what Helsinki was all about,
Yeah.
and what the European clones were, and Rachel has no qualms going down that road again, I think.
No, I can't see that she would hesitate at all, especially if it puts her at the top of any organization. Like, she craves power. I think she needs to feel needed, which is why I think if Sarah could be a little bit more diplomatic, I think she and Rachel could have a successful working relationship if you would just let her feel empowered for, like...
But she also has this weird relationship with Charlotte, the little girl clone, who is also a Lita clone, because she's just a young version that was, like, cloned, or many attempts were made. And then finally they made Charlotte, and she's kind of like years behind everybody else, but she's linked to Rachel, and so it's like this weird motherhood, sisterhood thing going on there. So
it really is. It is an odd thing, and I do possibly think that Charlotte is going to be coming a lot more into play, as is Kira. They're both the younger generation of that. We end the episode, though, with Rachel doing everything she does to Evie Cho, outing her publicly.
Amazing!
That was a lot of fun, and we were all like, whoa, yes.
I loved it.
Applauding Rachel for once,
Crazy turn
she's
of
fascinating.
Events. Oh, yeah.
She's so evil, but she's so deliciously evil. I also love Ferdinand. Like, I love that he's such a fop. And, like, so in love with Rachel as well. And, like, they're the perfect couple.
Yeah.
There's something about those two that...
Yeah, I am excited to see them together again. Yeah. That will be really fun. Speaking of couples, at the end of the episode, we have Delphine.
Oh, God.
Wait, who?
Delphine lives.
Do you know how long we've sat on that?
Yeah, I know.
Do you know what it's like to get, like, 1 million tweets a day from people like, #save Delphine? Like, where's Delphine? We need answers. Like, we've been sitting for, like... a year on that.
I have to tell you, our fans have been so excited. They have a hashtag called Delphine Lives.
I think one of them is named Delphine Lives.
Delphine Lives is their Twitter handle. And so they've been predicting it since, like, I think episode 2 we started talking about whether Delphine was going to be alive or coming back or not. So I was really excited to see your guys' fan reactions, and you haven't disappointed. You guys are really stoked. I'm stoked. I cannot wait to see.
Thank you for sticking around and waiting for her to come back.
Yeah. Well, did anyone else think, though, when they saw that behind the head shot of Delphine, I thought perhaps...
It's Adele?
Yeah.
Me too.
Really? I was like,
oh
she's
But then I
so
heard French music, and I was
Adele
like,
has wonderful hair as well.
Yeah.
Yes, very similar hair, but it is Delphine. Before we get into some predictions, we have some questions for you, Kristian.
About Delphine, just answers about Delphine that people want. Spoilers.
All kinds of questions.
Yep.
Paolo Bizen says, my question is, what's the most crazy, interesting theory you have ever heard about Orphan Black? Is there, like, one, like, really off the cuff where you're like, wow, you guys...
No, I mean, I'm surprised I haven't heard, like, it's aliens that are doing this.
Is that your theory?
That's my theory. Yeah, it's aliens. We're just part of a zoo. And aliens are watching us.
That would make, like, I don't know.
That'd be terrible. It'd be just such a bad mashup of sci-fi genres.
Yeah, definitely.
Colin Hollis, too, asks, if you had an offer to be cloned, would you take it?
Me, Kristian Bruun, or Donnie? Or
both.
Playing a role of a bunch of clones. I would not clone myself. You know what? Here's the thing. Okay. I would try to make a baby the fun way first. And maybe if that, for some reason, didn't go, then I would keep practicing making a baby and failing, because that's the fun part. And then I would clone myself.
Multiplicity, though.
Yeah.
It'd be
Look at
fun.
that. Covering all of the bases.
Multiplicity, that amazing movie. Where each clone
Michael
got
Keaton.
dumber and dumber and dumber and
Number
dumber.
4 is the best.
Yeah.
I like
That would be one. I mean,
I have to
okay.
rewatch it.
It actually is an amazing film. One of Michael
I just
Keaton's
watched
best.
it recently.
No, it's not one of Michael
Yeah, it
Keaton's
is.
best.
Guys,
Is it really?
Yeah,
Come
yeah.
on.
Watch it
That is
again.
a good-
I'll watch it again.
So
Andy
do it.
McDowell's in there, like, damn, like, that is one hell of a
Here's
program.
my prediction. We're going to have one of Michael Keaton's multiplicity clones
The
show
dumb
up,
one.
and that'll be the dumb one. With the one that
he's
like
my
wears like
favorite.
the hat with the propeller on his head.
He's
And
like-
him and Helena will fall in love.
Yes. And then there will be a whole storyline with all of Michael Keaton's clones
I
coming
want
into
Helena to
Orphan
fall
Black.
in love with Michael Keaton's Batman, though.
He's one of the
much more
clones.
interesting
He's one of the
than-
clones. Every single one of Michael Keaton's characters through all of his movies will
just a
be
clone.
considered a clone. So Batman will show up at one point.
You guys, this is a great movie.
Beetlejuice.
Just wait.
I think Beetlejuice and Helena would go there.
Beetlejuice and
Yeah.
Helena.
Oh my
Fascinating.
god.
Oh, yes.
Another question from I can't even read this name. It's Oli Duengling and they are asking about improv if you work in improv, especially when you're working with Tatiana.
Yeah, it's very rare to be given the opportunity to do improv on television. There's a lot of money riding on the scenes, on the time that's spent creating them and filming them. And yet, for some reason, they keep letting us... I think it kind of started that Tat and I didn't know each other before. We met on set on my first day in episode 3 of season 1. And we didn't know each other. I was terribly nervous. And, we grew to really be fond of each other, turned into best buds. And not best buds, like good buddies. And...
well, she won't respond to your text messages.
Yeah, so. I'll show you. They're pretty ridiculous. We have a lot of bad Snapchats and dub smashes that we send each other.
Oh, she's the best at dub smashes.
She's very good. And then we started having fun with each other, and just we found out we both have an improv background, and we would just start really riffing in character and just putting buttons on scenes at the end of the scene, just ending it with a button. Just to give it a pop, something interesting to just kind of set it off. Because we quickly realized that there was a lot of comedic potential between Donnie and Alison. And the writers picked up on that, and John and Graeme picked up on that, and they were like, oh, let's have some fun with this. So, they just keep the camera rolling and let us improv our way out of things and into problems and out of problems. And then at one point, it was season 2 after I shot Dr. Leakey, and we had to bury Dr. Leakey in the garage. TJ Scott was directing that episode, and there was just, in the script, it was like, Alison and Donnie take the body out of the freezer, wrap it, do all this stuff, start digging a hole. Like, there was a lot of chunks of action that were just described, and then TJ was like, okay, you guys are mic'd, we've got a camera here, we got a camera here, we've got a roving camera here, so just take your time and do your thing. And they just let us improv through the whole wrapping the body of Dr. Leakey and like, oh, I'm going to barf. Like, all that stuff is
that
like
was
fun
amazing,
improv.
by the
So
way.
great.
It was fun. And then we did it again this season when we had to dig them back up. And they had a lot of improv in that as well, as we just sort of dealt, like certain lines that came out like, hot, oh, it smells like hot garbage juice was an improv because... When I went to military school in Pennsylvania for high school, and my old roommate, he used to describe farts as hot garbage juice. And that's like what came to my mind was hot garbage juice.
What's his name?
I don't know if I can say.
Well, throwback to him, though. I mean, it's
I
like
will.
at
Frank
least...
Tantillo, you're the man. I love you, buddy.
The infamous money throwing scene on the bed, was that improv as well?
That was improv. Helen
Yes.
Shaver was directing that episode, and she came up to us and she was like, okay, so do you want us to choreograph some moves? Like, how do you want to do this? And Tat and I just looked at each other and were like, now we got this. Just play the music.
so
I
good.
will say, by far, that scene is one of my favorite scenes in
Absolutely.
television in the past, decade. I'm not even kidding.
It was a lot of fun.
I enjoyed it
It
so
was
much.
like, that's a bucket list check mark right there.
Yeah.
Rolling around in your underwear, spraying money everywhere. Like, I cannot even begin to describe you how good it feels. It's the best. Try it out. I mean, maybe just get a lot of ones, but I don't know what you can afford to do, but try it out. I mean, ours was prop money, but still, it was so damn fun. It was great. But they do let us improv so much, and that's a rare treat. Because we both love improv, and for writers they work so bloody hard on this show, and we respect the words that they create and the stories that they create, and it's a huge amount of respect from them to trust us with their episode to be like, okay, you can improv through this bit, or throw something fun you can change up the lines a little bit if you want to do something funnier. That's like a huge amount of respect and a huge amount of trust that they put in us. So it's an honor to be able to do that. You don't get that on a lot of shows because people are just too scared of how much it's going to cost if it doesn't work out. And, it's a thrill. I don't know if I'll get the chance to do that again, but it's wonderful when we get to do it.
Awesome.
Well, on that note, guys, let's get into some quick predictions.
Lightning predictions.
AfterBuzz TV prediction.
What?
All right. So for the finale, I think that Rachel is definitely going to screw everybody over because she's power hungry, and I'm hoping that Sarah doesn't screw things up too badly with Felix because it's a bit of train wreck and they're finally on some kind of even footing.
I think Delphine's gonna come back, but she's bad. Or she's different. She's
Yeah.
not good.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I said last time, but I'm sticking to it
I agree
more confidently
with you.
now.
I know that Crystal is going to come back, thank God, because she is my spirit animal. And
Mine too.
So great.
I know you love Crystal too. That
I do
scene
love
with
Crystal.
you guys was amazing. That was one
So
of
much
my
fun.
favorite of the seasons. I also think that perhaps I think one of the clones is going to die.
I was going to say that.
It feels like
Maybe-
it's time.
I feel like it could be Rachel while she's trying to save everybody, and then she'll be this hero / villain.
It's gonna be Cosima, and we're all gonna be heartbroken.
No, it's going to be MK.
It cannot be
Can't be
Cosima.
MK. We just met her.
She just
All
coughed
right.
blood. We're not committed to her yet.
She's hard to like because she's so aloof. Yeah.
Well, guys, please let us know what you think, because there's a lot of shit that's gonna happen next week.
I don't get to make any predictions?
Well,
it.
can you?
No, I can't because I know everything.
Just a frickin' tease. All right,
Yep.
on that note, Christian, where can everyone find you one more time on social
At
media?
the Bruun for Twitter, and Bonnie Castle, BONNYCASTLE on the Instagram.
I'm Joelle Monique. You can find me everywhere at Joelle Monique. And check me out on Black Girl Nerds this week for my review of Finding Dory.
Hey, I'm Kelly McInerney. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at HollyWeirdo, or just watch Silicon Valley later, because I'll be doing that after Buzz.
Yeah.
And you guys don't forget to follow AfterBuzz TV at AfterBuzz TV on all social media platforms. ABTV Orphan Black, tweet at us, and you can find me, Sam Davidson, SamD43, Twitter and Instagram, and SamDavidsonEntertainment.com. We will see you all next week for the finale. We cannot wait. Thank you, Christian, for being here.
Thank you for having me. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
Wait, was I supposed to...
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.